It speaks to how much that culture has changed. We banged on the Chargers the last 10 minutes prior about how much they need to change the culture. Follow the lead and follow the blueprint of what the Detroit Lions have. And if you want to shout out another team, you can shout out the Bengals too. But the Detroit Lions, for a team that hasn't won a title since 1957, haven't won a playoff game since the 90s, have only won a playoff game in their entire history of the NFL, has their first 8-2 season since JFK was in office. We're talking about 60 years of suffering at this point. And now all those fans that have been there through it all with the 0-16 Lions, with a team that has whiffed on countless draft picks, the guys who drafted Eric Ebron in the first round, the guys that, no matter how much talent they had, just couldn't piece it together, still having losing seasons, still having injuries, still choking away games when it mattered. Now they get to bear the fruits of what it is now, which is a team that is a top 5 team in the NFL, which can very well beat a team like the 49ers, the Eagles, the Cowboys in the NFC. And if they were to match up with the right team in the AFC, this is a team that can win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, this is a team that can definitely win the Super Bowl. And the fact that you're jumping off ship when clearly in this game you saw history fighting against the Detroit Lions. This game was bigger than just beating your division rival in the Chicago Bears, bigger than just winning a game where you struggled all year long, and proving that your defense, special teams, and offense can all come together at the right time when you haven't been able to do it last year. That's the reason why you started 1-7, and now you're 8-2 and have a chance at the 1 seed, pretty much have your division locked up with the Vikings losing this week. This is something where it's the Vikings are still going to have, the Lions are still going to have growing pains that they're going to go through, but they're literally fighting history right now.
Yeah, they're fighting 60 years of suffering at this point, and I've loved seeing it. And they're definitely America's team at this point with how much the America has rallied around them. I'm excited to see them on more primetime games in the future, and I'm excited when it comes time for the dance, how much noise they really can make, because you have a top 10 defense, you have a top 10 offense, and you have a top head coach in the NFL, top offensive coordinator. So they have all the recipes of a team that can play some upset ball in the playoffs and potentially make an NFC title / Super Bowl.
Yeah, potentially make the Super Bowl. And I think that's definitely in the cards. They're my pick to go to the Super Bowl, not only just because how I've been following Dan Campbell. I loved him in his press conference when he was talking about biting off kneecaps when he came in with the biker helmet here, talking about how he wants to bring an actual lion to practice. He's a baker. And then he's specific about every little detail. And then when he's baking at home, throwing away a recipe and spending a week just to perfect a batch of brownies. That's how you know this guy is insane about everything he loves, about what he does. You can feel the passion there. And then Jared Goff being able to turn it around. And now you have probably the most dynamic running back duo in the league with David Montgomery. And then David Montgomery going up against his former team and getting the game-winning touchdown when this is a game where I was like, Detroit is a team that is going to be a team that's going to give a guy who wants some revenge. They're going to give you the opportunity to do it. And then Chicago didn't want David Montgomery. Lions pick him up, and then he's the guy that seals the game for you. Aiden Hutchinson sealed it with the safety and then punting the ball into the stands, but also David Montgomery, former Bear, getting some revenge against his former team. And I was like, if any guy's going to go off in this game, it's probably going to be Montgomery, because there's some bad blood there.
Yeah, and he got that game-sealing touchdown, and credit to the Lions for getting the win.
Yeah, credit to the Lions, defying history, getting the win, inspiring not only Detroit, basking in the glow now, but the rest of the NFL, setting the standard for how you rebuild a team. You need a GM, head coach, and quarterback all on the same page. That's what the Detroit Lions have. It's definitely a beautiful thing to see.